Indiana Fever versus the World. The night 11, records fell. All eyes were supposed to be on Caitlin Clark's sophomore debut. But what happened inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse on May 17th, 2025, turned into something far bigger. 11 records shattered, a 35-point avalanche, and a veteran's quiet march into basketball immortality. By the time the final buzzer echoed, the Chicago sky looked like they'd been run over by a bright red freight train. Final score 93-58, the second largest win in Fever history, and the biggest season-opening blowout they've ever unloaded. A building that buzzed like finals week. From the moment the doors opened, the arena felt different. Cameras perched on every catwalk, ESPN trucks jammed the loading dock, and the resale market had gone berserk. Not since Tamika Catchings' heyday had Indianapolis pulsed like this for women's hoops. But this wasn't just Indy hype. Nielsen numbers later confirmed it was the most watched WNBA regular season game in 25 years, peaking above 3 million sets of eyes worldwide. DeWanna Bonner's 7 silent points. Lost in the glare of Clark mania stood 38-year-old DeWanna Bonner, a 6'4" lefty whose resume already reads like a Hall of Fame plaque. She needed 7 points to pass Tina Thompson and climb to number 3rd on the WNBA's all-time scoring ladder. Mid-fourth quarter, Bonner caught a bump, strolled to the stripe, and swished 2 immaculate free throws. Scorekeepers flashed 7,489 on the Jumbotron. Crowd, detonation. Bonner simply nodded, jogged back on defense, and resumed directing traffic like a second coach. No cartwheels, no confetti, just history made in perfect silence. Her milestone wasn't just numbers, it was an instant credibility booster for a locker room still figuring out its voice. One veteran whose prime bridged 3 franchises had just proven that graceful aging is still possible in a league obsessed with the next shiny prospect. The Reese rumble and Boston's response. All week, Chicago rookie Angel Reese posted about owning the paint. She even talked smack during warm-ups, promising to snatch every rebound like rent was due. 5 minutes into the game, Reese took Clark's shoulder on a hard screen. Words flew, tempers flared, and the officials hit the eject button on any pretense of opening night courtesy. The league later opened an investigation into what Reese claimed were racially charged taunts from a section behind the sky bench, a reminder that a booming spotlight brings shadows with it. The best answer came from Aaliyah Boston, not the referees. Time and time again, Boston met Reese 2 feet off the ground and sent her layup screaming into the 3rd row. By the final horn, Boston's line read 19 points, 13 boards, 5 blocks, making her only the second player ever with a 15-10-5 opener and vaulting her to 8th on the Fever's career rebounding list before her rookie-scale contract even expires. When the logo 3 dropped, everyone knew mid-first quarter, Clark eased across half court, glanced at the shot clock, and, without even glancing at the arc, let fly from the center court V, nylon roar momentum shift. It was the kind of audacious bomb that deflates an opponent faster than a 10-0 run. From there, she split traps with surgical wraparounds, threaded bullets nobody else even saw, and, most shocking, blocked 4 shots, the highest opening night total ever recorded by a WNBA point guard. The chase for 10-10-10. As the 4th quarter ticked under 6 minutes, the entire building became a living, breathing stat tracker. Clark pulled down rebound number and 9, whipped outlet assist number 9, and the Fever bench leaped to its feet. With 4:52 left, she zipped a no-look to Boston for a jumper. Assist number 10. 2 trips later, the ball ricocheted off the rim. Clark skied high among giants and clenched rebound number 10. Triple-double. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. First ever 20-10-10 in a 2-season opener. Fastest to 3 career triple-doubles, 41 games, and a scoreboard that now read 83-51. Read 83-51. So how fast is warp speed? Consider this. It took Diana Taurasi 565 contests to post 9 games with 20 points and 10 assists. Clark already has that tally in 41, tying Courtney Vandersloot for 2nd all-time and doing it in a fraction of the calendar. 11 records, 1 night. Let's rapid-fire the rest because they deserve their flowers. Largest season opening margin in Fever books, 35. second largest victory overall for the franchise. First guard-center combo to register 9 blocks on opening night, Clark 4, Boston 5. Most blocks by a point guard in an opener, fastest to triple-double, number 3rd in league history. Youngest duo to each post a double-double with at least 5 defensive stocks, blocks plus steals. Bonner vaulting to number 1. Third, all-time scorer. Boston's entry into the Fever top 10 rebounds list. Most watched regular season game in 25 years. Highest single-game team assist total in a Fever opener since 2012. Clark had 10 of 27. First WNBA game to feature both a 7,000-point milestone and a triple-double. How the Fever pulled it off. Coach Christie Sides preaches pace, space, and brutal accountability. You can see it in the way veterans and rookies huddle after every whistle, in how low man help arrives on a string, and especially in the ball movement. Nobody pounds rock more than 2 seconds. With Clark orchestrating at warp speed and Boston setting bone-jarring screens, shooters like Kelsey Mitchell and Natasha Howard feast on wide-open threes. The system hums because ego stays parked. Even the rookie phenom yanks teammates into celebration photos, so the spotlight never fries, just one star. The science of momentum. Analysts love to say, defense travels, but energy travels faster. Every time Boston swatted a layup, Clark sprinted the other way like her sneakers were turbocharged. Each logo 3 triggered a decibel spike that made sky huddles feel like yawning canyons. Indiana seized control, not with one massive run, but with a series of 5-minute surges, 11-2, 9-0, 8-1, each sharper than the last. Chicago kept blinking, resetting, and finding themselves down another handful. When you lose the turnover battle and the glass, and your opponent shoots 49% from deep, you don't just lose, you get buried. Future shock. Why this might be. Year 0 of a dynasty. Look at the Fever timeline. Clark is 23, Boston is 23, Lexi Hull is 24. Mitchell is hitting her prime at 29. Bonner supplies championship DNA without hogging usage, and Sydney Colson lends comedic relief to keep the tension low. Cap space opens in 2026, draft capital remains intact, and free agents are already whispering about joining a roster that suddenly feels like the league's most electric landing spot. Add it up, and you've got a formula similar to Golden State's rise a decade earlier. Generational shooter plus unselfish engine plus switch. Everything defense plus vets who don't care about shots, only jewelry. And if you're another franchise, that's a scary equation. The Angel Reese aftershock. Don't dismiss the mini skirmish as tabloid filler. Rivalries power retention. They create rematches you have to watch. The WNBA already snagged a primetime slot for Fever Sky Round 2, and fans are salivating at the prospect of Reese figuring out how to score over Boston's 7-foot wingspan while Clark rains logo bombs over outstretched hands. Controversy, when it doesn't cross lines, buys oxygen in an algorithmic world, and both teams know it. Bonner's blueprint for longevity. Between weight sessions, Bonner now spends mornings teaching Clark pro-level footwork tricks, demonstrating angles to cut half seconds off every curl. Boston calls her Coach D, half in jest, half in awe. It's a symbiosis rarely achieved so quickly. The kids supply fresh legs and breakneck tempo. The veteran provides calm eyes, and the proof that greatness can last beyond anyone's rookie hype cycle. That mix feels sustainable if knees and luck cooperate. 1 game, 2 futures. If you're Chicago, you tape this box score to the weight room door. You remind yourself that you still shot 41% in the first half before the roof caved in. You lean on rookie bruisers and fix the help side rotations that Clark kept short-circuiting. The Sky aren't bad. The Fever were just somewhere between red hot and radioactive. If you're Indiana, you treat the 35-point win like a prologue, not a peak. There's film to break down. Clark missed a few weak side tags. Boston turned it over in traffic twice. Bonner's legs will need load management. Dynasties aren't built on vibes. They're built on incremental refinements piled onto elite talent. That's precisely what the coaching staff hammered home in a terse 3-minute post-game speech that sounded more like a to-do list than a TOA. Why this matters beyond the box score. The story here isn't one triple-double or one lopsided margin, it's the crystallization of women's hoops as must-see entertainment. When a W game outdraws Mets-Yankees on a Sunday night, network executives pay attention. When 11 records fall in a single evening, highlight packages start eclipsing 10-second slots on SportsCenter. And when a Rookie of the Year adds rim protection to her superpowers just to spite the critics, you sense we're witnessing version 2.0 of how the women's game will be played and marketed over the next decade. Your move. So here's the cliffhanger. Was May 17th merely a glimpse of ceiling or just baseline reality?